The story starts with a young girl named Jo. She lives in a home where her parents always fight. The only things that make her happy are climbing kitchen cabinets and sitting alone by the window. 20 years later, Jo is an adult. She wakes up late for work, like always. She quickly gets dressed and rushes out. She works as a cleaner. Then she gets a phone call from the company where her autistic brother, Michael, works. When she arrives, the manager is very angry.
Joke.
I think the key issue here is accountability.
Accountability?
Michael has messed with company files and sent secret information to the local news. Because of this, he is fired with no extra pay. Jo is
You
upset.
stole money from him and now you're kicking him out.
This is Michael's 8th job, but the manager says Michael is lucky they are not calling the police for stealing company data.
You'll be hearing from my lawyer.
Like you have a lawyer.
As Jo and Michael leave, Jo gets another call, this time from her own job. Her boss warns her that if she doesn't arrive in 2 hours, she will be fired. She has no choice but to take Michael with her. They hurry to work, but Jo's bike won't start, so they take the bus.
Piers Morgan is an attention-seeking, the worst word.
Well, Piers Morgan wouldn't have got on the wrong bus.
They quickly get off and look for the right bus. When they finally reach Jo's workplace, she enters the elevator with the company's 2 CEOs, Jeffrey and Gerald. A pregnant woman, Morgan, joins them.
Jesus Christ, breathe in.
Gerald rudely says she should stay home.
You better not fucking drop now. You should be at home.
Morgan snaps back.
Maybe if you paid proper maternity leave, she would be.
Jo meets her boss, Derek. Because she is late, he punishes her by making her clean the hardest part of the skyscraper. While she is cleaning the windows, Noah, a security guard, watches over Michael. But Noah gets distracted, and Michael wanders off to explore the company. Meanwhile, the CEOs are interviewed on TV about their growing energy business. The host asks about an important shareholders' gala happening that night. Jeffrey, the smarter brother, explains the company's success, while Gerald just grunts in agreement.
Absolutely.
As Jo cleans, Noah talks to her. He seems to like her and looks out over the city saying, "All flesh is grass," wondering what the world was like before people ruined nature. Derek interrupts.
Hey, Derek.
Hey, Derek.
We pissed off a Milton in the lift.
He was being a...
Telling them to hurry because of the gala. Noah, worried about Michael, suggests Jo take him somewhere nice after work. In another part of the building, workers decorate the gala hall. Gerald secretly takes drugs. That evening, Jo is still cleaning when Michael finds her. He says he wants to go home.
You can't be up here, Michael. You'll get me sacked. Go down. I'll be 2 minutes.
I want to go home.
She tells him to wait on the ground floor because she's not finished yet, and if he stays, she might get fired. Jo finishes cleaning, but Derek refuses to release her, claiming she still has more work to do. He disables her control over the lift, deciding to manage it himself. In the darkness, Jo nearly slips, dropping her sponge, which hits a passerby below. Meanwhile, a masked group, disguised as gala performers, enters the building. Jo calls Derek, pleading to be let out, but he ignores her,
Derek!
intending to punish her further. At the same time, Jeffrey gives a speech about the company's progress, but Gerald, bored, sneaks away with his girlfriend. Suddenly, the masked group attacks the control room, killing Derek and his team. Derek's body falls against a lever, causing the lift to descend unexpectedly.
What are you doing?
A hacker among the intruders overrides the company's control system. At the event hall, the masked group releases a gas that knocks everyone unconscious, except themselves as they wear masks. Once the crowd is subdued, the group moves to the next phase of their plan. Jo, trapped outside, can only watch helplessly. Meanwhile, Michael finds a safe room to hide in. The masked intruders gather the shareholders and employees, forcing them to prepare for a confession. One of them distributes guns, while the hacker, Z, announces that it will take 4 hours before the unconscious people wake up. The group's leader introduces himself as Blake, an activist from an organization called Earth Revolutionists. Their mission is to protect the environment and fight against corporations that harm it. He declares that they will interrogate each person, promising freedom if they comply. Z ensures all radios are jammed, cutting off outside communication. As they take attendance, they realize someone is missing, Gerald Milton.
Short,
When they
there's
demand
Gropey.
his whereabouts, Jeffrey
Where's your brother,
refuses to
G?
speak. In response, one of the intruders breaks his fingers, forcing him to reveal Gerald's location. The masked men find Gerald in his room and wake him up with a breathing mask.
Oh, hey, Jerry.
Joe watches from the window as Gerald tries to alert his captor about her presence. However, the captor cannot see her. He then removes his mask, revealing himself to be Noah,
Who owns the building now, Jerry?
Joe's cleaning partner. Using a trolley, he transports Gerald to join the others. Joe, desperate for help, tries yelling,
Help! Help!
but she is too far above the ground. She improvises by tying a rope to the lift and begins descending. Inside, Blake orders everyone to stay calm. Jeffrey assumes they are there for money, but Noah violently corrects him, making it clear that this is not a ransom situation. Z plays a video exposing the company's dark secrets. Despite presenting itself as an advocate for green energy, the company has been polluting the environment. The footage reveals that a whistleblower from the company, a green energy advocate, was murdered for attempting to expose the truth. The company covered up the crime using its wealth and media influence, ensuring that justice was never served. Blake declares that the world will finally learn the truth about the company's destruction of lives and the environment. Their mission will be complete once the company's stock plummets. Jeffrey tries to bribe Blake, but this enrages Noah, who forces a wine bottle down his throat. Blake restrains Noah, warning him to stick to their plan. They are not there to kill, but to change the world. It turns out that Noah has other plans of his own, as his gang brings out strap bombs. Meanwhile, Joe finds a jelly-like substance inside the lift's compartment, smears it on the window, and lights it up. This creates an SOS message that everyone outside on the ground floor can see. Now the police will be on their way.
There's a fucking SOS
Upon
on the
learning
side of
this,
the building.
Blake immediately sends Noah to deal with Joe. Gerald notices the distraction and runs to one of his rooms. Noah finds Joe and tells her to bring him up so he can focus on Gerald.
Z, there's an override to the cradle.
Sweet.
Bring her up. Bring her in.
Blake finds Gerald and tries to grab him, but his gun mistakenly goes off and shatters the glass. Noah joins them, gun ready to
You've
kill
already
Gerald.
killed one Milt.
But Blake stops him, warning him not to be reckless, since they are close to achieving their goals. However, Noah immediately shoots Blake instead. The ones loyal to Blake are also shot and killed. Blake's body is thrown out the window, while Jeffrey is shot in the leg to prevent him from running. Joe moves closer to Blake's body and takes his gun and phone. Michael arrives but quickly hides upon hearing someone approach. As police sirens grow louder, Noah calls the emergency line, pretending to be a hostage.
999.
There's a crazy woman outside the Acme Tower with a gun.
He uses a pregnant cleaner as leverage, threatening to kill her unless she empties her clip into the street to draw the police's attention. This buys them time inside the building. Soon, a police helicopter arrives, pointing a sniper at the cleaner, waiting for orders. The media has already identified her as a suspect in the terror attack. Noah instructs Z to wire $33 million from the company's account into Joe's account to make it look obvious. Detective GV soon arrives and is briefed on the situation. One of the investigating officers explains that, according to Joe's profile, she was once in the Marines. She made it through the selection process but had to quit after beating her spotter for assaulting her. The ground operations officer prepares to take Joe down, but the detective insists they wait, reasoning that Joe sent the SOS signal, meaning she likely isn't one of the attackers.
Don't shoot!
At that moment, they discover that Joe has received a sum of $33 million, leading some officers to believe she should be taken down.
I've got the shot.
I'm not with them! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
However, the detective insists they wait. Joe approaches Blake's body and takes out his phone. Suddenly, the crane jolts, causing the body to fall. Joe barely manages to hold on. The detective soon receives a call from Joe, who begs her not to shoot and asks her to keep her brother safe. Meanwhile, the shareholders and participants of the Agnean company are filmmaking individual confessions. Digging deeper into the activist group, the police discover an old video of Noah advocating for saving the planet. Blake, a pacifist activist, was involved in several operations to sabotage Agnean's business without casualties. Realizing that Blake was killed by Noah, the detective identifies Noah as a terrorist. Inside the building, Noah is fitted with electronic braces that monitor his impulses. If he gets agitated, he has 5 seconds to calm down, or the device will detonate, killing everyone in the building. The detective
Noah
tries to
Santos.
negotiate the release of the hostages, but Noah insists that they are still confessing. He promises to release some of them after that, and the rest once a clear passage is secured. As negotiations continue, Noah notices a group of police officers approaching the building.
Why are there 5 SWAT guys sniffing around the entrance?
He warns them to step back within 5 seconds.
Get them back now.
Pull back.
When they refuse, he detonates a bomb,
2.
I told you we're back.
killing the officers instantly. The detective realizes that the chief of ground operations disobeyed her
Don't you ever go behind my back again.
and warns him not to act independently again. She hears the news and begins to question her choices. Joe calls the detective, claiming she wants to go in and save his brother. The police quickly detect an incoming threat and warn Joe.
Joey, you need to move.
Acting swiftly, she uses her childhood skills to scale through the windows just before an explosion. The impact throws her off balance, but she recovers. With police backup, she instructs the sniper to shoot a hole in the window so she can break in. By now, the media has labeled Noah and his group as terrorists due to the murder of the police officers. After many attempts, Joe manages to break through the glass. With her brother's help, she avoids detection, hiding in a generator room while the men search for them. Joe catches one of them off guard, slamming his face into a steam pipe. The second attacker tries to shoot, but autistic Michael uses his Thor hammer to strike him. Unfortunately, it has no effect. Seeing this, Joe quickly grabs a gun, kills the first guy, then turns and shoots the second one. As they attempt to escape, they are cornered by another attacker. Joe shoots at a steam pipe, causing him to scream in pain. She survives the encounter, but a brutal fight ensues between her. The enemy reaches for a gun, but before she can fire, Michael throws a grenade, blasting her out of the building to her death. Z prepares to broadcast the video, but as Noah speaks, she realizes that he intends for them all to die by the end. This isn't what she signed up for. She tries to run, but one of the men shoots at her. Before he can finish her off, Joe intervenes, killing him. Joe and Michael make it to the control room, where Michael successfully prevents the video from going public. Joe calls Noah, informing him that his plan has failed, the evidence is gone, and his actions were meaningless. Michael takes the hard drive as they prepare to leave. Joe contacts the detective, urging her to send reinforcements since Noah will come after her. She also asks the detective to ensure her autistic brother's safety. Joe deliberately gives her location to Noah, luring him so the police can infiltrate the building. The detective warns her team not to kill Noah as his pulse controls the building's detonation mechanism. Joe ambushes one of Noah's men and kills him, while the police secure the hostages and eliminate the remaining attackers. She then finds another enemy checking on his fallen partner and slashes him with a knife. Finally, Joe confronts Noah, who is sitting and waiting for her. A fight breaks out, with Noah initially gaining the upper hand and demanding the drive.
Do you think I'd be dumb enough to keep it on me?
Joe refuses, and when he tries to kill himself, she stops him, secretly removing his wrist bomb. As he hangs on the edge, Noah smugly declares that she is lost. However, Joe shows him the pulse bracelet, revealing his mistake. He attempts to climb back up, but Joe pushes the rope, sending him plummeting to his death. With the situation under control, the detective approaches Joe, asking for the hard drive. Joe lies, saying they never had it. She jokingly asks,
The 33 million that you have to give back.
A few days later, a leaked video of the Milton brothers and Agnian shareholders confessing their crimes goes viral, spreading across social media and the news. Meanwhile, Joe and her brother spend time together, finally at peace. If you enjoyed this video and want more, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and see you on the next one.